Wow.
Thank you so much for coming. I was expecting a few less people. This is extraordinary, guys. Wow. Thank you so much for coming. This is extraordinary. Well, I love you, stranger.
Have you ever been to the States before?
I have. I lived in LA for about 3 years, on and off. And I've been to New York before, but I've never been to New Jersey, so...
New Jersey's like New York, except like a little bit further that way. So,
Yeah, that's like Australia. Australia's like America, but just a bit further that way.
there you go. So we have a ton of people here already lined up, well done, to ask questions for you, Katie. We're going to try to get through as many as we can. We'll start on this side and we'll bob and weave. What's your name and where are you from over here on the right?
Hi, okay.
Hey, how you going?
I'm Jill from New Jersey.
Hi, Jill. Oh, I'm glad someone didn't have to travel too far.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes. Okay, so I don't know if you can answer this, but is there anything that you have taken from set that was like too special to you? You're like, okay, this one.
Oh, have I? I've taken a lot of the bad prison food home in my stomach, which I regretted. I haven't. No, at the end of last season, we weren't quite sure whether we were going to come back to film more. So I'd already asked some of the props department if I could steal a few things if we weren't going to come back. But then a few months later, we got the word that we were going to come back to shoot 20 more episodes. I don't have anything yet, but when we finish the 20 episodes, if that's the last that we ever do, then yeah, I'll be stealing some stuff. Thank you.
You said something there that I want to ask a follow-up on, which is you mentioned the food being gross. Well, like, you're not really in prison, you're on a film set or a TV set. So how do they make the food taste bad? They can't just make it look bad but taste good?
Yeah, the caterers are method, so they make the food taste gross. Well, obviously they have to provide us food that looks like actual prison food. Right. So it's certainly not fancy. It's like frozen vegetables and beans every single day.
So they can't just mash up caviar and make it look like beans. That's not something.
No, sadly not. That would be a treat. But yeah, no, it doesn't stop me from eating the food because basically you put anything in front of me and it's going to go in.
Right. First question on this side.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Michelle from
Hi,
New York.
Michelle.
My friends call me Michelle.
I would love to.
So you and Danielle ripped our hearts to shreds.
Sorry about that.
The grieving process. So you guys had amazing chemistry. I'm wondering, was it as difficult for you? I mean,
when her character died.
When her character died, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I was devastated, and I think like a lot of people in this room were just like, this is the worst idea ever. And of course, I was grieving for the character's loss because she's just such an extraordinary character, and I'm sure most of you guys know that I was a fan of the show before I was in it. So I was like you, I was mourning the loss of that extraordinary character. And even more than that, I was mourning the loss of my mate on set, because Dan and I had such a great time together with, we're good mates, and we always had such a great laugh on set. So I was mourning the loss of having that relationship on set too. I can feel the onslaught coming up, but I do stand by the decision. I think it's really, it was a badass decision, and it certainly is upsetting to a lot of people and to me as well. But it was an extraordinary choice to make, and so I was excited that I was part of a show that took such risky decisions in their plotting. But yeah, certainly I very much grieved that character's demise, and I still miss Dan on set every day. I'd love to have that back.
True love never dies!
I'd love to know, since you were a fan of the show beforehand, and I'm sure you worked on projects where that's not as big of a part of it for you, but when you read a script, how much are you reading just based on, okay, this is what my character's doing, this is what I'll have to do, and just from a viewer standpoint, this is what I would love to see or not love to see happen to the characters I'm a fan of?
Oh, well, this is the first time that I've ever entered a show that I was a fan of beforehand. So I kind of felt like I had an advantage and a disadvantage, because on one hand I was already sort of influenced by the show because I was such a fan of it. I wanted to make sure that I did a good job because I wanted to continue the legacy, the great legacy of the show. But also I felt like I had an advantage because I got to view the show as an audience member, which if you're a cast member from the beginning, you don't really ever get that perspective. So being a fan of the show and of Danielle, I kind of had an insight into who Ali should be if the Queen Bee was going to fall for this woman, the first time that she'd ever fallen for a woman, and then really experienced true love. I kind of had a bit of an insight into who Ali should be because I'd gone on Bee's journey with her that whole way.
Awesome. Next question over here.
I'm Stacey from Brooklyn, New York.
Hi, Stacey.
I followed you on Instagram and I want to thank you for commenting back to me last week.
Oh, did I?
But that being said, I donated to your Live Below the Line.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for anyone in this room who did. I think almost $20,000. So thank you. Yes.
That we're doing here today.
Oh yeah, I believe it's happening. I'm not sure if it can happen right now because there's going to be we have time constraints, but just. Chew into people's question time. Can I get a bit of a bum 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 bum? I need backup, guys. Come on. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. As we're back with a brand new invention, something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon down the night. I don't know. Turn up the lights and I'll go. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, glad at the stage, you must jump like a candle. Dance! Spin that boom! And I will chronically show off. So thank you for inviting me.
That was very good. Give it up one more time for that. Next question on this side. Oh, it's Bill.
Hello, I'm Phil from Saratoga Springs, New York. I just want to say how much the trade craft of all the actors on that show amazes me.
Me too.
And my question is, how do you people find the ability to put that kind of devotion and effort into it?
Man, that's a good question. And I don't really know the answer. I guess I can only speak from myself, from my own point of view. But I think what attracts people to being actors in the first place is that we're curious about human psychology, and we're curious about emotion, and we kind of want to explore those dark, twisted, sad, crazy places that hopefully, if we're a happy individual, we never have to experience. And so certainly for me, I enjoy diving into characters that do have to go through crazy roller coasters like Ali, emotional roller coasters. So I don't know, I think everybody's got pathos within them. And I think the actors, like any person who's good at their career, with time and practice, you just get better at accessing those little traumas that lie dormant inside all of us. And I hope that's answered your question. I think we've all got it within us. I think actors just get skilled at being able to pick that wound if we need to for screen. But it can be traumatic on set for sure. Welcome.
Thanks, Bill. Next question over here.
Hi, Kate. My
Hey.
name is Lucinda from Ohio.
Hi, Lucinda.
I just want to say you're an amazing person on and off the screen with all the charity work you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I would just like to know your favorite scene of all time of all seasons. Obviously, Valley, like, touched us all. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, me too. Gosh, favourite scene? You guys are putting me on the spot. I should have answers prepared for this, but I don't. I do have a fondness. I've got a fond memory for the scene where Danielle B has been, she has been cutting herself. She's got scars, and Ali comes in and gives her ointment. I get to touch her leg. At the time, my dad and I had rehearsed the scene, and we knew that it was kind of a crucial moment. We have that beautiful moment where she says, "I'm not gay, I don't care who you are," and it's all wonderful and romantic. The prop that they had given me, like the ointment that they had given me, was in this tube the stuff was so hard to get out. So I was squeezing this thing and it kept on making fart sounds. So I'm rubbing and also, oh my God, there's a dog. Oh my God.
Two dogs.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Oh my God, I love America. It was supposed to be this sensual, sexy scene where I'm like rubbing lotion on her wounds and like it was meant to be beautiful. And in the end, it was just like me rubbing this like gravel on her and it's making fart sounds. And we were just crying with laughter. So that's a special memory for me.
I'd love to know, every show and every, crew of producers probably does it differently, how they deliver information to you about your character or other characters in their fates. What happens with Valley and what happens with B, is that something that you read on the page, or was that something that they let you know, hey, this is where we're going with this is what's going to happen in the final episode of this season?
It changes all the time. Anyone who has ever been a part of a TV show knows that no one really knows what they're doing, and what the writers and the producers have planned from the start isn't necessarily how things are going to end up, because things change, people's availabilities change, storylines change, characters' popularity changes. Like I always have this theory that Ali was always meant to die at the end of season 4, but for some reason they liked her more than they thought they would, so they kept her alive. That's just my own personal theory. Things change, so I don't know whether they always had planned to kill B off. I really don't know that. But generally speaking, the writers and the producers will have plotted everything out for that season, and they'll tell us at the very beginning of the season. But I think in the case of B, they really didn't know whether they wanted to go through with that choice. And so it was very much left to the last minute, because I think they were understandably hesitant about taking that irreversible plunge.
And in the case with Ali, it's just the difference of a beep or a long beep. They could have just been like, you know what, let's kill her. Beep. Well, let's keep her alive. Beep, 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 beep. So.
And also, I didn't know, I've been in this game long enough to know that editing is, it's really easy to change a storyline with editing, right? So they could have easily not put in that part where Ali opens her eyes again. So she might have died as well. It could have been the other way around. But it's TV. You never really know what's going to happen.
I think that's my favorite edited moment of the show, is that back and forth of that, and playing with the suspense of, are they both going to die at the same exact time? Oh no, she's still alive. Okay, wait till next season. That brilliant editing right there.
Yeah. It was. I knew what was going to happen, but still, it was tense watching it.
Do you guys get together and watch them together? How do you watch the show?
I usually have watched it ahead of time. They send us screeners, and often you see them when you have to go in and do voice dubbing afterwards. So I usually have seen it before it goes to air. But with that particular episode, I did watch it with Tammy, because we were shooting season 5 at the time. I watched it with Tammy McIntosh, and we were both crying all the way through.
I think, what side are we on? We're over here, right? Go ahead. Next question.
thing on?
You're on.
Hey, I'm Tony from Secaucus, New Jersey. So, you have a huge LGBTQ following. And I'd like to say thank you for that, because we don't see a lot of love stories, true love stories, on television with lesbians and gay people. So thank you for that. But did you, I know for me, it was inspiring watching it because it was real life, what we go through, but we don't see a lot of it on TV. Did you feel that there was a possibility we could move forward with that love story, or? Like,
You mean Ellie and Dave?
Yeah, it was important to the lesbian community. So,
Yeah.
and we're having a hard time with Rita and Cass and everybody else.
Oh, you want them to come out as well? Maybe Ellie could just turn everybody. I'll talk to Rise, I'll see what I can do. I'll try and answer all points, all sort of facets of that question. When I started with that storyline, I didn't really feel any kind of sense of responsibility, just because I didn't really know at that point what it would be for you guys and for me as well. I'm sort of still continually amazed at how touching it has been and how important it has been to all of you guys. So when Dan and I kind of were mapping out that character, the storyline, all we wanted to do really was tell a love story, and it didn't matter to either of us, which is kind of a nice way of looking at it. It didn't matter to either of us that it was a love story between two women. It was just important that it was real and authentic and coming from a place of genuine emotion, and also true to those characters, because obviously Bea, having never been with a woman before and having never really been in a loving relationship before, that's a huge leap to make for her character. So I think that we were very conscious of honouring that and honouring how difficult that would be to come to terms with how you're feeling about another human being, and also, shit, that human being's a woman, and I never thought that was my life. So we were very sensitive to that. But in terms of responsibility to the LGBTQ community, I didn't really have any sense of that, because for me as an actor, I've just always got to play the truth of what the character's going through. And for me, it was just a girl who was in love, and yeah. I think so that's why I really loved that storyline, because the writers did such a good job of not making it different. It was just, it's love. Oh, thank you guys.
Next question over here on this side.
I love your t-shirt, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, so show again. Cody.
Hi, Cody.
So, this is kind of number one. That was a really good introduction to my question. Not one related personally, for you. Because I'm from Canada, and because people from USA and other places last night, they were talking about, how they can't be their true selves at work. They don't feel comfortable being open, and being from Canada, not that there isn't that, there's a lot less of that. But you yourself have been in a same-sex relationship.
Yeah.
So for the people that don't feel comfortable about being out and open at work because, they're going to be passed up for promotions, they're not going to get jobs, you yourself as an actress made that leap. You would all think that it was going to affect you going forward, being staffed, potentially.
Yeah, I understand your question. No, I didn't, and it breaks my heart that so many people, and I guess I underestimate how difficult it can be in this world to be who you are authentically and not suffer any kind of judgment or repercussion for it. It's so sad that we've made so much progress, but we still seem so far away from true equality. No, it never really was a concern of mine. I think I have lived and still live in this kind of impossibly blessed bubble where I'm surrounded by people who just don't think any differently about and that's my good luck. And I totally understand that that's not the case for everybody. But I don't know. I think it's just luck. But I have been an actor for a very long time, and I think studying theatre and growing up in that world, everyone's gay. It's something that is normal and in no way different from anybody else, and celebrated even. So I never really felt conflicted or that I was different. I don't know. To quote Bridget Westfall, my heart really does bleed for people who feel like they can't celebrate who they are and have the people around them celebrate who they are, because my journey at least was just always being surrounded by people who are like, great, you love who you love, awesome, carry on. I hope that everyone in this room can experience that at least for going forward.
Great question, thanks. Next one over here on the left.
Hello.
I'm Carmen.
Hi, Carmen.
I'm from Long Island, New York.
Yes.
I'm here with my friend also, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. Shout out.
We're together on this trip here. I came here special to see you.
Oh, thank you, Carmen.
I love you, and my name is Kate, but I always remember you as Allie, because my name is Allie also.
Ah, nice.
Very simple question, I'm very nervous. Your relationship with your cast outside of Wentworth.
Yes.
Do you stay in touch with your cast?
Yeah, we do. You guys get to meet 4 of us today, but honestly, it is the nicest bunch of people that you could possibly hope to be, co-conspirators with. They're extraordinary. Hey, they're really, really lovely. I keep in contact with a lot of them actually in email. Obviously with work we see each other at functions and that kind of thing, but they're such a wonderful bunch of people. I saw Danielle this morning, but I haven't seen Katrina or Pam today. I'm really excited to see them. But yes, we're a very happy family. It's kind of sickening. See you, Carmen. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Next question over here.
Hey, my name is Whitney from Canada.
Hi.
We're friends with our moms.
Oh, so sweet.
Just thank you for all the time at work. I really enjoyed watching the show. So.
You got your work? I want to work when you work.
I'm just kind of curious, who was the best kisser and who was the worst kisser?
I always get asked this question. Oh, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just not sexy kissing someone at work. Can I draw an analogy for you guys? At work, you guys all have co-workers, many you work next to someone who's, in accounts or whatever. Imagine your boss comes up to you and goes, hey, you got to kiss Ron from accounting now, while everybody watches you. That's what I have to do, and it's even more awkward because these guys are my friends. Dan's my friend, Nicole's my friend, they're my mates. And you go from talking about, what you did on the weekend and their partners or what their kids are doing, and then it's like, all right. So it's not particularly sexy. It's so technical. You've got to get your head right in the light, and you've got to get your hair off. So it's not like, ooh, yeah, I get to make out with someone today. It really doesn't feel like that. So I feel like I can't rank my conquest. Because it's always a bit awkward making out with your mates at work, but they all have incredibly good dental hygiene.
Very technical kissers. Yeah.
Great technique.
Next question over here.
Hey, I think your mic
Is the
might
mic
not be
on?
on. Hello.
Hi, I'm Stacy from Florida.
Hi, Stacey.
I don't even know what the heck to ask you because I have a million things going through my mind. Just want to say, love you. You turned many straight girls gay.
Still, I didn't know I had.
It's an amazing skill. From the moment you say, I am Allie.
So did you guys already know that Ali was gay as soon as she walked in? Was it just
The way she looked at me. No, how's Bowie doing?
Oh my god, Bobby's living his best life. He's actually on holiday with my mum and my brother at the moment because I've been moving house. And I FaceTimed Mum the other day. He was sitting on her lap like this, except she felt that her knees were too knobbly for his head, so she put a pillow over the top of her knees, and then she had a blanket over the top of him and a heater on. So yeah, he doesn't miss me. I'll just put it that way.
So we're going to do one more question over here, and then one more question over here, and we're going to have to wrap it up with Kate. So I apologize. The rest of you guys can sit down. Appreciate it. Last question on this side.
Hi, I'm Rich.
Hey. Hello, sister.
And I absolutely adore you.
Oh,
On and off screen.
Thank you so much.
I was going to ask you a few questions. I was going to ask a question already, so I'll just ask you before you became famous on Wentworth. It's so popular and loved. How do you compare your life before? How do you compare it now?
I don't feel famous, and I think the extent of my fame is, you know, me walking down the street and people kind of going, "Do I know you?" Like people, you know, only very specific people know exactly who I am. Like every now and again, like, "Oh my God, I love having like that scene in season 4 when you did this and you said that, and then you did this bit and you walked this way." I'm like, "Oh, you're a diehard fan." But generally speaking, yeah, you guys. But generally speaking, I usually I have people kind of look at me squinting and go, "Do I know you from somewhere?" So I don't feel like I'm famous at all. I don't feel like my personal life is. I do live in Australia, yeah. So I don't feel like my personal life gets affected in any way. And in fact, having you guys appreciate the show that I'm on is really lovely. So, you know, every now and again, someone might stop me and say, "Hey, I really love the show," and that's kind of the extent of how my life is affected by it. Apart from, you know, days like this where I get to soak up all of the love.
That's what I was going to say. You're from Australia, maybe you're not so popular, but you were here in Jersey.
I feel like today I feel famous, but no, it really, this is a bonus to my life. It's so often as an actor you do a show and not many people watch it. It's hard that a show, it's odd when a show has this much of a reach and this much love and support behind it. So I feel incredibly honoured to be a part of it and to have all of you guys come out of your way and to spend time with me today and all of us. I appreciate it, so thank you guys. Today's going to be a Cheeto heavy day.
This is our last question. You can
I'm take these snacks though.
Last question over here. What's your name and where you're from? And you guys.